Welcome to another Newsmaker. A Moroccan rights attorney was recently in Washington to plead the case of a controversial newspaper publisher serving a year in prison. His crime was speaking out against the country's intelligence chief. This comes as Moroccans are gearing up for a July 1st referendum on a constitutional amendment that would guarantee, among other things, greater freedom of expression. I spoke with Rachid Nini, who is one of 500 attorneys representing Mr. Nini. He sat down with me here at VOA and spoke about the case. Why is he in jail now?
He's in jail because I believe that the system, the intelligence community, wanted to send him a strong message. In past articles, he had been denouncing things like corruption, abuse of power, and so forth. On this time, he made a particular article regarding the intelligence system in Morocco and locating a secret detention center. For example, in the Temara, the so-called Temara detention center. He's also been criticizing the head of the intelligence. He's also been criticizing the way the intelligence community was handling protesters in the streets.
Wasn't he also critical of the way they handled an investigation into a bombing in Casablanca, back in 2003?
Absolutely. That one too. So I believe it was an accumulation of things that the government had against him, and it was a way to sanction him and maybe give an example to other candidates for free speech.
He's been writing articles exposing corruption for quite some time. This is nothing new, and for a while it seemed as if the government of Morocco was tolerant, allowing the press more freedom than ever. Suddenly now Mr. Nini goes to jail. Why now?
Well, there are various tentative explanations on the market, I would say. As you know, the king spoke on March 9th,
yes,
after the first wave of protest on February 20th. And we believe that the palace and the government expected people to be appeased by the speech. The fact that protests continued after the royal speech was probably made a lot of people irritated. And again, all of this is hypothesis, but a lot of people are thinking that it's a way for the government to say, if you're not happy with what we're offering you, we could quickly go back to the old system.
The old system being in the days of his father, King Hassan.
Absolutely, with all the abuse that we know.
Now, King Mohammed has promised constitutional change. Last Friday he gave a speech and enumerated the additions, the amendments to the Constitution. Among them, he said there would be greater press freedom. Is the government concerned that this very high-profile case of Mr. Rachid Nini makes a mockery of the promises?
That's what we noticed, is that there is sometimes, if not quite often, a gap between what is written or what is announced and the reality on the ground. And Nini's case is a perfect example. We cannot have two speeches promoting civil liberties and rule of law and incarcerating a key figure, an icon of journalism in Morocco.
Now, Mr. Nini was arrested and prosecuted under criminal code, not the press law. Why is that?
It is totally illegal. And the defense, which by the way is made up of up to 500 lawyers, voluntary lawyers in court, totally illegal, and there is a specific press code that should have been followed by the court.
Mm-hmm.
But since it is what we call a political case,
mm-hmm,
the judges had instructions to lead the trial, to file certain charges and lead the trial a certain way.
Now, compared to other cases, we've seen journalists arrested and imprisoned in the past. Is his sentence harsh, or is it token?
Well, Cecilia, it is surprising for the following reason. The government of Morocco has been using 3 or 4 ways of muzzling the press. It can be a tax audit, it can be heavy damages in defamation suits, and it can be jailing in extreme cases. Jailing journalists is part of the old system of this king's father. So we're very surprised that we're going back now to this way of trying to oppress the press.
Depending on what you read, Mr. Nini is either a gunslinger, a maverick, or a hero. Did he step over the line?
Well, Cecilia, he's definitely very admired for his work, and yes, he can be very provocative, and we could say that in an Arabic/Moroccan contest he's fearless and can tackle on any issue. But in the meantime, and that's probably the reward that he gets for it, he's extremely popular. We've had people tell us, basic people not knowing us in the defense team, basic people, protesters and so forth, tell us that we are willing to die for Mr. Nini. We love him. We have basic people who are taxi drivers, shoe shiners. Everybody wakes up in Morocco by the tens of thousands, if not the millions. They wake up in the morning and they read Al Masa. It's the written version of Al Jazeera in Morocco. So I believe it was a strong mistake